welcome to my Casio. If you're sub, I'm Ben, and in today's video we're going to be having a look at the Casio G-Shock GA2100s, or the Casioaks as they are more commonly referred to. I'm wearing the Ketchup Casioak. This is the all red version. We have a few different ones of these in today. It's paired with a white Oxford and the sort of classic Gap sweater. I thought the red on red was only appropriate. Okay, so here we have the unboxing for the GA2100s, the Casioaks. So if we open the box, we have our international warranty card and our manual, fairly standard. And then these nice fold up boxes. And there you have G-Shock. So we get this out, we'll get rid of this. Okay, so here we have the metal box, fairly standard G-Shock box, all nice and easy peasy. This has been out, or this obviously comes on it. You've got a nice little bit of foam on the top and your card. So the reference for the all black one is the GA2100 1A1ER. Lovely plastic. Okay, so here we have the G-Shock, the all black GA2100. Okay, so here they are, the Casioak GA2100 series. A lovely anti-digi display. It's really nice and clean, which is something that I really appreciate on these ones, with the only exceptions being the days of the week, which actually has a very satisfying curved back on a Saturday evening. You've got your pretty bog standard G-Shock screen there, and all of the modes we've all come to know and love. So we've got a world time, a stopwatch, a countdown timer, 5 different alarms, which is quite nice to have, and then we're back to the normal time. The screen is also backlit, as well as having this little torch as well, which is rather handy. Okay, so taking a look at the yellow one, as I said, we've got lovely vibrant colours. The strap on these is a little bit different to many of the other G-Shock models, and they actually taper really nicely down, almost vertically. So when they're on the wrist, they have a really nice presence, and they really keep the thinness of the case, and with a very wearable aesthetic. Perfect for the smaller wrists, or for women, or anyone really. They suit everything. The kind of grey sort of white hands on the yellow one do make it a little bit more legible. I do really appreciate the little G-Shock being in yellow here as well. It's a really nice touch. Then when we flip over the back of the watch, as I said, we've got 200 meters water resistance. It's just a screw back case. No, the water resistance is there, so it doesn't really matter if it's not a screw down case. And you can just sort of see against the contrast between the yellow, this sort of band of grey kind of black composite colour. This is actually the carbon core guard, which is mentioned here on the case back. So another really great feature about the GA2100 series is that when you have a time where the minute hand is blocking the subscreen, you can in fact press the light and the mode button together, and it will move the hand to a position that's out of the way, and then you can continue to use your stopwatch or your world time or countdown timer as you may need. Press them back again and you're back to normal. Because obviously they don't have a crown on the side, so actually just to adjust the time, you just hold the adjust button down and it goes into time setting mode, and you can flick through the time zones that you may desire. So let's set this back to the UK time, so we go Paris, and then press adjust, and then it flies around. It could be a little bit quicker, but it's a fantastic feature nonetheless. It's really easy to do, and then you can micro adjust it by holding down the adjust even more if your minutes are out for whatever reason. Pros and cons then. One of the big sort of pros for these watches is their affordability. None of these I ended up paying retail for. The red one was from Deepall Village and it was in the sale, I think it was 67. The yellow one I got on Amazon for I think 89. And then the all black one was from G-Shock themselves when they restocked, and they had 10% for your first order. This was £89 shipped. So the affordability, and they come in some of the more affordable ones in the anti-digi range anyway. So another big pro for me is how they wear. I'm not a huge fan of really chunky watches. I like a decent sort of size. I've got sort of 7-inch wrists, so they're not massive, but they're not tiny as well. But I have to say it's the thinness of the case which is really what keeps me always going back and just grabbing them and going. And as you can see, they just fit superbly. They're nice and slim. And my girlfriend actually wears them all the time. I think this is the only time we've had all three of them in one place, because they're always on one of our wrists. It's really fantastic. So I think they're very sort of appealing to both men and women in that respect. The desirability is not something that I particularly care about, but if you are one of the sort of people that care about the sort of desirability of a watch and how hard it is to get and the resale prices and all that sort of thing, particularly with the all black one, they sell out as soon as they come back in stock. It's still nice to know that the value retention is there. So I think the biggest thing for us that we love about these watches, and this goes for G-Shock on the whole really, is just the amount of range that they have in terms of colours. See, we've got the ketchup and the mustard here, and then the all black. We've also had the black with the white. There's a sort of a neon one, a camo one, and there's sort of a neon purple and black one, and there's a few, I think there's a green one with the black bezel now, and there's just so many that you can really do a lot in terms of pairing them with outfits and stuff. That's something that you care about, which is really nice. So as you can probably tell, we are huge fans of the Casioaks here at My Casio if you're a sub, particularly the ketchup and the mustard. They're probably my two favourites. But there are a few things that we have sort of an issue with. First of all, particularly with the black one, the all black one, you just can't get them at retail. They're an absolute nightmare. As soon as they sort of restock, they sell out, which is great to an extent. You know that your investment's safe. You know that if you need to sell it for whatever reason, you can kind of get that back. However, true sort of G-Shock fans and things often are going to be left out, but it's just a bit annoying really. The next kind of downside to them is that they're not solar powered and they don't connect via Bluetooth to the app. That being said, G-Shock's never used to in the day. It's not the end of the world. I'm sure they will do versions in the future. I would imagine by the amount of mods that we've seen of these starting to come out, which I'm very tempted to do, I would imagine G-Shock are probably going to end up doing a full metal version of this. I think that would be really cool down the line as well. I'm sure if they did an all black full metal one, it would be even more of a nightmare than the normal black one. But hey ho, I guess we'll wait and see for that one. So the last sort of gripe that we have, which I know everyone's sort of been saying this, and not to sound like a broken record, but the legibility particularly on the ketchup and the black one, are pretty rubbish. I'm going to be honest. However, I don't think anyone cares. No one's buying, particularly the black one, no one's buying this to be able to read the time at a glance. If you were going to do that, which is what we did the first time around, you'd get the one with the white hour markings in the hands, and save yourself the headache of paying over retail or having to get up at 3 in the morning to buy one online when they restock. So it is a negative, but it's not really, again, it's not the end of the world. I don't think people are really that fussed about it, because if they were, they wouldn't sell out as quickly as they do. But anyway, thank you so much for watching our review. That has been our sort of rundown of the GA2100 series, or the Casioak series. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.